Hello, my name is Tarun Agarwal and welcome back to this 5 days workshop. Today is day 2 and today we are going to discuss about a webinar automation tool, that is EverWebinar. Okay, how to automate your webinar and how to deliver the perfect webinar presentation over and over without ever being present. Okay, so I'm going to give you a quick demo about EverWebinar. So yesterday in day number 1, okay, if in case you have missed it, you can go to you can again go back to my YouTube channel and just check out my previous video. I talked about Webinarjam. Webinarjam is a live webinar tool and I gave you proper demo about it. Today we are going to see a demo about how to automate your webinars and how to get automated sales. Okay, I'm using this tool to build my network marketing business and this is super awesome. Okay, EverWebinar. Okay, there are many other tools for automation, but I think this is the number one tool which you must try. Okay, if in case you want to try Webinarjam and EverWebinar, you can go to dnaclub.in/webinarjam. Okay, and you can avail 30 days trial. Okay, 30 days trial at just $1. So go to dnaclub.in/webinarjam and once you open this link, dnaclub.in/webinarjam, you can go to the basic plan. Okay, 500 attendees. So you can see it is showing $79 per month if it is billed annually. But what you can do, you can just start with $1 trial for 1 month, and later on you can convert this. Instead of annually, you can convert this into monthly, and monthly they are going to charge only $99. Okay, so here you can create unlimited webinars, live webinars, and also you can convert your webinars into automated webinars. Okay, so EverWebinar and Webinarjam both come in a bundle. Okay, automate your webinars using EverWebinar. So you can your recorded whatever webinar you do, live webinar, you can actually convert that replay into an automated webinar with all the live chats, and also you can show the attendees count as well. Okay, so this is about the automated webinar, how you can actually avail this, record your live webinars, then replay them using EverWebinar, the ultimate auto replay system. Okay, so this is the one. I think I suggest you that you should go for basic plan. Again, dnaclub.in/webinarjam. The clickable link is in this video description. Okay, now let's go ahead. Let's understand. Let's go through the demo. Okay, EverWebinar. So once you log into your admin panel, then you can see option like this. Click on Access. So now this is EverWebinar, right? If I want to add a new webinar, I will click here on Add Webinar. And now let's see what are the options available here. Okay, so one option is, because this is an automated webinar, it is asking for the source video. One option can be that your source video can be a YouTube video. Okay, so what you can do, you can actually select this an external video file and you can put your YouTube video link here. Okay, and it will play like an automated webinar. But the problem here is, if you use a YouTube video like this, okay, then it will show, when this automated webinar is played, then it will show YouTube logo as well. Okay, the person can click on the screen and it will show YouTube logo. So how to avoid that? Okay, in this case, if you want to use a YouTube video as an automated webinar, I suggest you that you must first create a live webinar using Webinarjam. Okay, and there you must play, okay, in the live webinar you must play a YouTube video. So it will record your webinar, okay, playing that YouTube video, and later on you can convert that Webinarjam video into EverWebinar. Okay, so that is one thing. Another is, suppose you have done a live webinar using Webinarjam, so you can previously use Webinarjam session as well. So I click here on a previous Webinarjam live session. Okay, and suppose I have done a live webinar, like say for example, this is the one. Okay, network marketing automation webinar in English. Suppose I select this one. When was the session? Session was on 5th of May, 4 p.m. Okay, then I click on save. So what it is going to do, it is going to copy the name of the webinar, okay, presenter of the webinar, poster of the webinar, everything. Okay, it is going to pick from Webinarjam. So I don't have to fill all this information again and again. Okay, just let me put it here as a test so that I can delete it later on. Webinar moderators. So again, it is automatically picked through Webinarjam. Then let's click on the next button. Now this is important. Okay, this screen is the most important screen. Okay, here webinar schedule. So suppose I want to play this webinar every day at 7 p.m. So I can select every day. Okay, time I want to select as 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, 7 p.m. and I want to select by default Indian Standard Time. Okay, and allow time zone conversion also this should be enabled. Okay, I click here on add. So you can see this is every day at 7 p.m. this webinar is going to play just like a live webinar. Okay, now there are some important options here. Enable instant watch replay. So which means whenever anybody open the opt-in page, okay, that person is going to see an option to watch yesterday's replay. Okay, yesterday's replay. One is the option, he will see an option to watch the next live webinar, and also he can watch yesterday's replay as well. So if you enable this, okay, replay option will be there. Next is allow late attendance. Now suppose your webinar starts at 7 p.m. and person opt-ins at 7:01, 7:02. I mean during the webinar. I mean if the person want to join in between, would you like to allow this or not? Okay, within past 60 minutes. So then you can enable this setting as well. Okay, so allow late attendance also to join the webinar. Okay, they will see that the webinar is in progress. Okay. Next is enable just-in-time option, which means just-in-time means suppose if anybody opens your webinar opt-in page, the person is going to see, okay, the next webinar is going to start in next 15 minutes. Also, okay, so after interval of every 15 minutes, a new next upcoming webinar they can see, okay, it is just about to start. Okay, so this is the option enable just-in-time option. Okay. Now next is display schedule. So whenever anybody go to the landing page, the person is going to see the next couple. I mean, the next 3 immediate available schedules, or only 2, only 1, only the next one. Okay, so I want to select here only the next immediate schedule. Okay, and allow late attendance, that's fine. Okay, and suppose if I want to block a particular day as a holiday, then I can block a particular day as well, because nobody does a webinar on 25th of December like this. So though we have selected every day, but if I want to block a particular day, okay, no webinar on 25th, no webinar on 1st, so this way I can block a particular day as well. Okay, that's fine. So now let's click on the save button. Let's go to the next screen. As we are using the replica of a previously done live webinar using Webinarjam, now it is automatically picking the landing page setting from Webinarjam itself. So if I open this landing page, registration page design, okay, so it is automatically picked through Webinarjam, right? So you can see everything is picked from there. Now I click here, I click on save and exit. Let's go to the save button. Okay, registration form fields, I want to capture their name, email ID and phone number. That's fine. Okay, free registration or paid. Now these settings are exactly the same settings which we discussed yesterday in Webinarjam. Okay, so I'm going to the next screen. Emails through EverWebinar email system, reminder notification, which means before the webinar and after the webinar, what are the emails which I want to send. Okay, so immediately once anybody opt in, this email is sent. I can also edit this. Okay, this is the email. Also 15 minutes before the webinar and after the webinar, 2 hours after the webinar starts and 4 hours after the webinar starts. So this way I can add more email. And the settings, these settings are exactly same as Webinarjam has. Okay, so you can refer my yesterday's tutorial, Webinarjam related. Okay, let's go to the next screen and let's talk about the important stuff related to EverWebinar only. Okay, now this is important screen, live, this screen. Okay, so when this webinar is played, okay, would you like to enable autoplay, which means when the time hits like 7 p.m. then automatically you want this webinar to play. Okay, so you can enable or disable this. Next is countdown page design, again the same setting as that is in Webinarjam. Okay, now here is the important setting, that is live chat box. Okay, now just pay attention here. Okay, live chat box here. Now because this is an automated webinar, now let's see few options here. Okay, now suppose I want to enable, like it is actually picking the live chats from the previously played Webinarjam webinar, correct? Now suppose I want to display a message, suppose on at first 1 minute and 15 seconds. I want to display a message through an attendee, okay, attendee, and the chat message is, hello sir, excited for this training. So this is the chat message. I click here on add. So you can see 1 minute 15 second this particular chat message is going to display during the webinar. Okay, so this way I can add multiple chat messages. Okay, and also here is an option, allow attendees to see each other's chat. So you must enable this, and save real comments, okay, as real attendees. Okay, real comments as from real attendees, which means, so whenever you are going to play this in a loop for at every day 7 p.m, when the real comments are when real attendees, they put the real comments, okay, so it is going to save for the next time. So if you enable this, it is going to save for the next time. So that's a setting. Okay, now let's go. This is the way how you can actually add more chat messages. Also, you can use export and import CSV file to feed in the chat messages. Okay, so this is one setting. Save. Now here is the magic, that is display number of attendees. So which means, as this is an automated webinar, suppose I want to display that, okay, this is an automated webinar, but I want to display that at this particular time, I want to display that, okay, 120 people are watching this. Okay, so I can actually display dynamic simulated number of attendees, which means the system will replicate a typical dynamic attendees curve through the duration of the event. So suppose if I put 120, so when the webinar starts, it is going to show around 100, 105 attendees. Then it will gradually go to 120, and gradually at the end, it is going to lower down the attendees count, approx 100 at the end of the webinar. So just it gives the feeling of a real webinar. Okay, so dynamic simulated count of attendees. This is an important setting. Okay, and then click on save button. Even though only one person is watching it or two people are watching it really, but they will see that 120 people are watching it with dynamic count. Okay, it will go up and down, right? So save. This is important because it gives exact feeling of a live webinar. Okay, so chat messages, yes, you can feed. You can also feed the dynamic attendees count from this screen live. Okay, now let's go to the next button. Now, would you like to enable the replay of the training? So yes, you can enable it or disable it from here. Okay, replay controls. So would you like to show the play bar so that they can fast forward the webinar? Yes or no? So yes, if you allow, then they can do this. They can use a player control. Okay, and is there any expiration date? Yes, you can say, okay, after 24 hours, which means 1 day after the webinar starts, this replay room is going to expire. So this way you can actually use this as an urgency, like watch the replay before it expires, and it will automatically expire that particular page, replay page. Okay, so that's a setting. Then go to next, and that's it. Okay, so we have actually set up an automated webinar. So if I click here to go to dashboard, so you can see this is a webinar which we have just set up, automated webinar, every day at 7 p.m. Now if I click here on your links, this is the registration page link. If I copy this and if I open this page like this, so you can see this is the landing page, this is the opt-in page, and the next upcoming webinar is today at 7 p.m. Okay, it starts in 8 hours from today, from now. Okay, and the person can register from here. So if I register, business automation webinar, this is the thank you page. I click here on the webinar link. Okay, and you can see we are starting soon, network marketing automation training. Okay, so it is starting at 7 p.m. today. So this is how we can set up an automated webinar using Webinarjam. Is this clear? Yes. Now let's go ahead and let's understand important setting, that is, one is analytics. Same as Webinarjam, you can see analytics of a particular webinar. You can click here on a particular webinar, click here on go, and you can see analytics, like how many people visited the opt-in page, how many people registered, and how many people actually attended the webinar. Okay, so this way you can see. If I show you the live, the real webinar analytics. Okay, so this is the lead generation training which I do. Okay, which I play every Sunday at 11 a.m. So these are the visitors. We got 42% sign up rate. Okay, and then we got 63% show up rate. So 1406 people have attended my lead generation training, which is actually which happens every Sunday at 11 a.m. Okay, so this is analytics, and also just like Webinarjam, you can go to registrants, and from here, if I open this training, okay, automated training, which happens every Sunday 11 a.m. like selecting all sessions, all time. So here, from here, I can see the list of all the people who have registered for the webinar, and I can see that their time in the live room. Okay, so this is an automated webinar, so I can see this person entered the webinar room at 17th minute 20th second and was there in the webinar for 1 hour 35 minute. Okay, 10 minutes, 30 minute, 45 minute. So this way the timestamp is also recorded, just like in Webinarjam. EverWebinar also records this timestamp when the person entered the webinar room and when the, till when the person was there in the live room. Okay, so this is the active registrants count, analytics, and this is how you can set up a webinar using EverWebinar. Okay, and I have set up so many webinars like this, and it is working brilliantly. Right now we are running 79 webinars in auto mode using my account. 79 webinars. Okay, so this is an awesome tool. I suggest you also must try. Okay, in this new year, by the way, happy new year to all of you. In this new year 2024, this is the must use tool, EverWebinar. Okay, if in case you want to use try this for 30 days, you can go to dnaclub.in/webinarjam. Go for 30 days trial at just $1, and currently it shows annual plan, but yes, if you just take the trial, later on within that 30 days period, you can convert your package from annual to monthly. Monthly it is $99 per month. Okay, but this is super awesome, much affordable than Zoom webinar. Okay, next is, if you have any question related to any tools, you can go to dnaclub.in/book time. Again, I'm giving this clickable link in this video description, and you can book a free consultation call with my team, tools expert. Okay, and if in case you are stuck anywhere and you want tool consultation, then you can book a consultation call like this. If in case you are into network marketing and you want to know how to automate your network marketing business, then I'm doing a 2 days workshop. Okay, 2 days workshop, network marketing automation without paid tools. You can go to dnaclub.in/autows. Again, this link I'm putting in the video description. You must go to this page and just check out when is the schedule for the next upcoming, when is the next batch for this workshop. Okay, so it is next on 5th of Jan, 11 a.m. and it is just ₹199. Okay, pay for it and you will get access to this 2 days workshop. So Friday 11 a.m. Indian time and Saturday 11 a.m. Indian time. Okay, so do check it out. Okay, and these are the free bonuses which you are going to get during the live webinar, live workshop itself. Okay, and you can check out some FAQs. Okay, can I attend this on mobile? What if I miss it live? You can just click here and you can understand. I have replied to this question. Okay, and you just click on register now, pay $199, and you will get access to this 2 days workshop instantly on your email ID. Okay, and let's meet in this next batch. Okay, 2 days live online workshop. All right, so I'm giving all these links in this video description. Check those out. And EverWebinar, that's a demo, and one of my favorite tool, Webinarjam for live webinar and for automated webinar, EverWebinar. Okay. All right, so thank you very much for watching this entire video. Do subscribe the channel and see you tomorrow for the next upcoming demo tutorial on next world-class quality tool. Okay, see you. Thank you. And if you have any question, you can put in the comment box below. Thank you.